I think that from the years 2020 to 2024, that was the great transition of Bitcoin from being a retail asset in the crypto ecosystem, offshore, unregulated. Coming out of 2024, Bitcoin is emerging as an institutional grade asset, and it's not going to be competing with the Bitcoin forks or other proof of work coins, or Sam Bankman-Fried's favorite yo-yo token, but it's or apes or cats or crazy crypto things. It won't be thought of as that. It's going to be competing against owning a block of real estate in London, or owning New York, or owning a ton of gold, or owning a building, or perhaps owning $1 billion of the S&P index, or owning 1 million shares of Apple stock.
Michael Saylor is the executive chairman and co-founder of MicroStrategy. His company MicroStrategy holds more than 4.6 billion Bitcoin, so we should have a little believe about what he says about Bitcoin. Michael Saylor has always been bullish on Bitcoin, as he says he always believed in Bitcoin but not on crypto. In an interview, Michael Saylor talks about intentions of BlackRock and how Bitcoin ETF will affect Bitcoin. Michael Saylor calls 2024 the best year for Bitcoin, that it will grow a lot. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel, where you can find crypto news every day.
I've said many times before, I've said, if it's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. The reason it would go to zero is it's illegitimate or getting banned. And so the question is it illegitimate? Well, obviously not. It's an asset without an issuer. It's the world's first digital commodity, and the greatest digital commodity. It's the only globally acknowledged digital commodity in the world. There's controversy about everything else. Bitcoin is the one non-controversial thing. So it is a legitimate asset. And is it being banned? Obviously not. The Chinese haven't banned it. It's deemed property in China. The Russians haven't banned it. It's property in Russia. The Americans haven't banned it. It's property in America. All of the controversy in our marketplace right now is surrounding crypto exchanges, the trading of unregistered securities, other tokens, and stable coins. And then the usage of these crypto tokens as a high-speed dollar substitute, a currency substitute. There's lots of controversy there. There will continue to be controversy. It is unclear how all that sorts itself out, except for the fact that there are two great conclusions you can come to over the past 24 months. Wall Street, the regulators, and the mainstream investment community endorses Bitcoin and appreciates Bitcoin. And everybody's skeptical of the rest of the crypto ecosystem, right? Bitcoin, yes. Crypto, not so sure, right? So that's where we are right now. I have met with lots of executives from these companies that are bringing spot ETFs to market. I can tell you for a fact, nobody wants to fix Bitcoin. Nobody wants to change Bitcoin. They've approached it with humility. They've approached it with grace. Their view is Bitcoin is a digital asset. People in the world seem to want it. We should do our part to provide services to make it easy to acquire and hold Bitcoin. Poorly understood, the Wild West. And by the end of 2024, it will have emerged as an institutional asset in the mainstream financial ecosystems on Wall Street. Bitcoin's coming to Wall Street. And I think that coming out of 2024, Bitcoin is emerging as an institutional grade asset. But if Bitcoin's going to grow up, right, Bitcoin's on a path to go from nothing to 500 billion to 10 trillion to 100 trillion dollars to 200 trillion. At some point, it should be 10, 20, 30% of all of the wealth in the world. If it's going to grow up like that, then it's inevitable that it had to be embraced and was going to be embraced by Wall Street. So if we consider the significance of BlackRock and the ETF, Well, first of all, the real important point is there's broad-based consensus now that Bitcoin is an asset class. And that's a major revolution. If Fidelity and BlackRock and if 10 other ETF issuers all agree that Bitcoin is an asset class, right, it should be 10x to 100x bigger than it is right now. There's also broad-based agreement that sometime in the next year, a spot ETF will be approved. And that's also significant. I think the third significance is this is not BlackRock taking over Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin, being embraced by BlackRock, right? This is Bitcoin being embraced by Wall Street. No, nobody on Wall Street, none of these ETFs, none of these leaders of these money managers have said, we just heard about Bitcoin, we're here to fix it. What they've said is, we heard about Bitcoin, it seems like everybody in the world wants it. And since we offer people gold and bonds and equity and other forms of investment options, we have a vacuum and we are lacking, and we won't be complete until we're offering a Bitcoin product.